So, welcome everybody. I try to go live every Friday. Last Friday, I had a family emergency and wasn't able to do it. But yeah, so here, my name is Larry Hernandez, and I'm the founder of Recruiter DNA. Recruiter DNA is living in the space of everything AI and recruitment. And so 25 years of recruiting experience. I've worked from agencies to RPOs to internal teams. Some of the most fun projects I've had or jobs I've had is starting the first sourcing team at Zappos in Las Vegas. And that was amazing. And I have some amazing stories. Also have worked for some cool places like USAA, Rackspace, Microsoft, ThoughtWorks, and Twitter. And of course, through my own company, Recruiter DNA, I help companies grow their AI, data science, and machine learning teams. But my passion has been trying to help leaders, talent acquisition leaders, recruiting managers, search consultants make this transformation into AI. When ChatGPT came out, I, like a lot of you, was not that impressed. It didn't look that great. And so I was like, and I put it aside. But then I revisited it when I was working on a book and the light switch came on. I called it's the aha moment in your AI journey. That is what I'm hoping to help you get to and your team get to. So I started an online course, had hundreds of recruiters from all over the world go through it, and we have a community at recruiterdna.com. I actually got rid of my website and just connected it to my community. That way, it's going to one day be a little bit more interactive and not just this stale website. Now, there were a lot of lessons learned in taking these recruiters through these courses. One of them, and it's not anyone's fault, is that people buy courses, companies buy courses for their team, but I can see the back end and people just don't finish it. They get busy. There is no urgency. There is no accountability. And I'm not in this to try to, I'm not going to get rich selling online training. But what I really want to do is help organizations, especially small to medium organizations or little teams within large organizations, actually get results. So I have had to go through this journey, me not being a, learning consultant. And so what you're looking at now is the new AI Recruiter DNA Accelerator Workshop. I've had to work with a consultant to take all my training, get all the feedback from recruiters, and put together a workshop. The reason I'm doing this workshop is because we can all get into Miro, we can be on Zoom, and it's going to be your time to we're going to go through some of these. We're going to go through some of these key steps, and you're going to have questions, and we're going to actually do the work together. You teams that buy the package, they get sent a smart AI onboarding form. It lets you share information to me about a little bit about your background. Where are you in recruiting? Where are you with technology? What kind of work do you do every day? Is it just sourcing? Is it full cycle? Are you responsible for social media, marketing, lead generation, closing? What country are you in? What niche are you in? And the reason I ask these questions is because your answers will go into an AI brain and it'll fill in the blanks and kind of make a customized experience just for you or your team. That way, when we're going through the workshop, these are going to be meaningful examples. And that was taken directly from some of the feedback I got in the course. I mean, I pre recorded a course and probably tended to focus more on tech recruiting as examples, right? And if you're not in tech recruiting, that might not click with you. So if you're in construction, if you're in executive search, if whatever it is you're doing, those are the examples we're going to be using because you shared that information. So that's an industry first. There was another industry first that is also in this training. But so what I wanted to do was I wanted to get just a step by step guide so we could have a start and we could have a finish. And I didn't want this to be a course, right? So at the end of this, as it's organized, not only is the team, the recruiting team, doesn't matter what your background is. Some have never even used ChatGPT, and that's okay because we have ChatGPT built in to the workshop. You don't need to worry about, logging in at work or, whatever it may be. But I wanted to take it from no matter where you're at, we're going to take you step by step. And this is the system. Okay, so let me just kind of move forward and I am going to do a demo. I'm actually going to show you. We're going to actually do a live demo and we're going to clone two different, well, I've already cloned two different brands' writing style. And then I'm going to show you the magic of that and why you should do that. Okay. It's going to make more sense here in a second. So as we drill down to try to make this bigger for you, as we drill down, I use colors, right? So the red is the first workshop, could be an hour to an hour and a half. You're going to have already done your onboarding. So you already have you're going to come to the workshop with a job description and a candidate and some things we're going to work on. So we are going to cover AI mind shift, which is important. I think I covered that in another LinkedIn Live, so I'm going to skip that for now, and we're going to focus on number two. These are self-contained modules. Eventually, once I have maybe 100 or whenever I feel that the workshop is tight, right? Then all those recordings will be edited and become just courses so that if maybe you haven't booked, there's only so many, 52 weeks in a year, and if I'm doing two of these workshops a week, you're not going to be able to book me. So these will be recorded and eventually you'll be able to buy this as a course. But this here, cloning your writing style, I'm going to fast forward it to here. All right, so this is kind of the worksheet and what we're trying to do. The probably at least tied for first, depending on where you are, the number one complaint I get from recruiting leaders, managers, owners of search firms, they're like, my team is not consistently using, we all have ChatGPT, or maybe you have another, brand of a large foundation model. They're all very similar. Think Ford truck, Chevy truck, Ram truck. They're all very similar. So I'm just going to say ChatGPT for now, and it's my preferred tool when sourcing and recruiting. But as long as your system has the ability to do projects or custom GPTs or gems, whatever you call them, then you're going to be okay. But for now, we're going to talk about ChatGPT. So the number one struggle that I'm hearing from leaders is I've got maybe one or two people that are using it. They don't know how to work. They're not explaining. There's not a knowledge transfer to the other part of the team. And it's just people are getting frustrated because they hear all the hype. And we talk about maybe someone will go take a course and talk about it on our huddle. But then when it comes down to doing the work, the writing kind of sucks. It sounds like a robot. It sounds like spam. And in the mindset, I'm not just talking about your mindset, because your mindset has to shift as well. But we go over ChatGPT's mindset and the too long didn't read. The theory is this, these tools were not built for people like us. And we're not we're using this as a hammer, but it wasn't built as a hammer. So yeah, there's going to be some issues. ChatGPT was not built to write sales copy. It was not made to make job descriptions and cold emails and respond to your boss or do things. So once we understand how it works, I will share with you how to format your responses to where you'll get really amazing content. But if we're addressing, I want my team. So I'm a leader of a search team. This is an example. And I want to make sure that everyone is on brand because we've got two new people One person's remote in a different country, and for all kinds of different reasons, not everyone writes the same. In fact, it would be a miracle if we did write the same. We're not professional writers. And of course, marketing wants us to be on brand. You want every post, you want every email, every reply to be furthering that brand message, right? Or else you're going to have to spend a lot of money on marketing to drive home what makes you different than all the other companies, right? And heck, recruiters would be happy if it was just usable content. So, what we're going to do is in this workshop, we're going to, in 3 steps, and we're going to go over this now, we're going to have Chat GPT analyze transcripts, writing examples of a company brand. We're going to use 2 brands, Apple and Boeing, just because they're a little bit separate messaging. And I'm going to show you the end results. The end results is you're going to have a style guide, a little formula or a template that whenever you use it, think of it as a lens. So whenever you put text into this lens, it's going to come out on brand. It's going to come out sounding like Apple. It's going to come out sounding like Boeing. It's going to come out sounding like you or sounding like your company. Hopefully, this makes sense. And especially leaders, I want you to think, oh my gosh, this is a miracle, right? Now, by the way, this is why AI is so helpful. Unless you had someone checking every email, every job description, which would be micromanagement, which would cause other issues, there's no way to do this, right? So then maybe you have to hire people that write, it's a whole mess. So I want you to think how beautiful this is. And this is just one example. So we're going to clone a brand, but what if you've got 2 people in your company that just have, I mean, they're very successful. Everything they write converts from their phone screens to their intake sessions. They've just got it through years of experience, through personality. For whatever reason, they've got it. And we use the word clone a lot, but what we can do is record them, take the transcripts from their Zoom calls, take some examples of their emails with their permission, of course, and then we put it into this machine that I've built, and we're going to come out with a winning style. Now, as a leader, when you're thinking, how can we scale? I wish I could wave a magic wand and make everyone write like Monica, or I wish I could have everyone close like Jerry. That is how I want you to think, and that's what we cover in the mindset. Okay, we can capture something that we see as positive. We can capture something that we see as negative and look for it, train ChatGPT, and then kind of run things through it. Okay. Hopefully that makes sense. Let's move forward. And I'm going to stop. So, and this is going to be, I'm actually just going to show you what I would do. So first, I'm going to have 2 videos. Okay. So what we're going to do, let's say, I'm just going to give you an example.
The pursuit is in all of us.
A common calling to protect,
connect,
And explore.
a drive to look beyond what is,
Ask, what if?
and define what will be.
A commitment to safety and quality above all.
from every person.
Growing with every day. Because working toward a better future
Requires more than a legacy of excellence.
It demands a constant pursuit.
And this is just a mini example because I would need a lot more examples. Like we would actually take the career page, emails, press releases, and what we're going to do is we're going to build a body of knowledge, almost as if you were researching a brand style, right? So in step 1, we're going to just capture, you're going to come to class with, here's 3 links, here's a PowerPoint, here are things that exemplify our brand style, okay? In this case, for this video, all I used was this 52-second video.
To the constant beginners who sing off key against the beat, to those unfamiliar with convention, unmoved by rules, and reborn with every new discovery. Those open to daydreams and night dreams and visions and mirages, who can see the millions of shades of green in a field of grass, whose days are filled with mysteries that cannot be solved with facts. You are more powerful than you think. You are welcome here.
Okay, I got the transcript, and then I plugged it in to a special tool that we have, which is just a prompt, and it gave us what's called a style guide. Okay, so that's what you have to do. If someone was telling me, hey, what do I do? Gather all your information, create a prompt that turns all that into a style guide, and then I'm in Chat GPT Pro that has projects, right? Or this could be a custom GPT, but I like these for demos. If you go to the project, I have made a style guide that captures Apple. So you are tasked with mimicking the poetic and contemplative writing style of Apple's brand. Use evocative vocabulary, metaphorical language. Okay, so then we have Boeing. Now, I told you at the end of the last series of the course, we're going to build these AI assistants. So I want you to think what I'm doing could be in your Chat GPT. It could be an assistant. So this is an assistant, what I call promptware, because we're turning prompt kind of into software. So this is Style Shifter. This could be in your thing here. So we're going to take a job description, just a bland job description, okay? And I'm going to go to my demo Style Shifter, and I'm going to say Apple, because we've built this in the workshop. We have built software, kind of promptware, inside of my inside of my project, and it knows what to do. So I no longer have to save a prompt or copy and paste a prompt or say da 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 da, right? We're going to pick some things that you use every day and we're going to pre-program them. In this scenario, Apple is going to be the command. I'm going to say, please, this job description. There's a little bit of a delay when I'm typing. Okay, just bear with me. And I'm going to put a hashtag. You'll learn why in the class. So this was a pretty generic. We are seeking a product manager. The individual, the candidate must have. I mean, there's no on purpose. There is no personality. Okay, it's just the facts, ma'am. Right? And now with our promptware, and we put Apple, here's what we have. Let me see if I can. Okay, now we're looking for a dynamic product manager to join our team to help us grow, to help guide our product to life. The role is about orchestrating the entire product journey from inception to delivery, ensuring that our products not only meet, but exceed. Anyway, so you're getting this, right? It doesn't change everything crazy, but I mean, just the, like right here, if you're someone who thrives on seeing ideas come to life and enjoys the balance of leadership and collaboration, we'd love to hear from you. Together, we will create products. I promise you that if you work for Apple and someone said, hey, rewrite this job description to meet Apple brand guidelines, unless that's your thing, it ain't going to happen, right? It's going to stop you in your process. I got to hurry up. Because you want to hurry up and source and you want to hurry up. So you take the workshop, we've converted it over, and now anything that I put into our little promptware and you put Apple, right? Now it is talking like Apple. Now I'm going to, just for time, I'm going to copy the same thing. So all I'm doing is I'm just copying this job description over again. But now I'm going to hit slash. So I'm in ChatGPT, right? I'm in my demo style shifter. And now I'm going to type Boeing, which is a command. It's a smart command that I'm calling Promptware that I designed that we're going to create for you in the class. Okay. But now we're just going to, I think I copied and pasted. So now I'm just going to say, Boeing, please rewrite this job description. Same bland job description. Okay. And let's see what it says. And I hope, since I can't hear you or see you, I don't know what questions you're having, but this is powerful. And this is not only related to recruiting, this is for all business. And I hope there's some of you that are going to go, boom, wait a minute, my ChatGPT doesn't do this. My ChatGPT sucks. Well, it's because there's some steps we have to go through to get this, right? So here is the output of Boeing. All I typed in was Boeing, and please rewrite the job description, okay? So now, you're going to see a difference. We're seeking a committed and action-driven product manager to join our dynamic team. You're going to see the wording is a little different. Where do we get this from? I just took the transcription of a 30-second. Okay, so if we were doing this for real, I would gather all the career pages. You would come to the workshop and say, here is what it means to be a Boeing employee, right? Or whatever your company is. It could be testimonials. It could be emails. It could be someone's LinkedIn profile. The point I'm trying to make that this is so powerful that if you learn how to use it, we can really customize the output, okay? So I got a 30-second video, took the transcript, put it through a magic, prompt that I created and constantly refining. And I made a style guide, and I'm following the exact steps that we do in the class, right? Number one, we gather everything. We gather all of your assets, all of your branding, right? Two, we gather, we round it up. Now I'm going to help you clean it up a little bit because there are some tricks to training ChatGPT on a lot of knowledge, but don't worry, we'll do that together. Then we're gonna, what I call, launch or integrate your little tool. And this is what it would look like. It would be in your Works ChatGPT, and we could call this whatever it is. I'm calling this a style shifter. And you could have, like I have this for my company. I have a recruiter DNA voice. Whenever I'm like, oh, you know what? I need to post this job. I need to write something in the brand voice of Recruiter DNA. If you go to my custom instructions, it's a doozy. It knows everything about me, about the company, and how it should talk, right? I'm not a great writer. I'm barely hanging on talking to you live. But if I need something to come out on brand, that's what I use. And that's what we're going to build together. So that's how we got to this demo. I got a very bland job description. And because we have programmed this shifter, we've given it kind of like personalities. And no longer do we have to cut and paste the entire personality. All we have to do is hit Apple or, whatever your company is. And I'm going to stop the demo here because this is where I would, you would ask me questions, right? Can it be in Spanish, in French? Yes. What else can this thing do? Your imagination. Well, if you can imagine it, we can probably build it, okay? I've got myself, let me see if this is the right demo. When I'm working on something, literally, I have created all these, I got a coach, I got a prompt bot, my father, my dad is a wise mentor his name's Al. And so whenever I hail him, like in Star Trek, I just hit Al, right? And Al turns ChatGPT into my dad's mentor because I've programmed it that way. Okay. Now it also, since we're in projects, now I'm shifting to, if we go to you'll notice in the workshop in there's 1, 2, 3. The third is setting up your workspace. You're like, oh, I don't need to set up your workspace. Remember, ChatGPT is not built for business. And to be frank, I mean, I've been recruiting for 25 years. When I show up to a company, whether I'm a contractor, consultant, or full-time employee, rarely, rarely do I sit there and there's some kind of system, right? I know we've got an ATS, and then we got like SharePoint, and then we got this, and then we got this. But the way I think, golly, how does it work? And then usually it's like, oh, go shadow, Cynthia for an hour. Well, Cynthia is busy, and Cynthia isn't a trainer, and she's not going to talk out loud what she's doing. So there's this kind of like, I've been onboarded. I don't know what to do. So what we're doing is I'm just going to kind of sit with you. We're going to copy what should be done. Here are the steps, and then we're going to program it into ChatGPT for you. So all you'd have to do for a new employee would be like, source. That's it. And it would, we've cloned how it is you work, and it's going to work for you. So anyway, I love this. Me personally, it helps me as an entrepreneur stay on track. I'm always learning. But yeah, there's not, you don't have to know code. A question that I had when I went live on Wednesday from the Recruiter DNA community was, when do I use custom GPTs and when would I use projects, right? Keep in mind, we are customizing these tools to work for us, okay? None of this was built for us. So I don't want to use the word hack, but I'm sitting there thinking, because I'm working, I'm like, I gotta make a job description from this transcript. I got to make some interview questions that, there's some steps we go through. So as I go through the steps, I build out or I adjust these and to work for my needs. But when you break down what a recruiter, sourcer, salesperson does, it is a series of tasks. Okay. And it's usually never the same, but gosh, wouldn't it be great if at least your team had everything it needed sitting in a tool that costs $20 a month? Okay. I say this, the number isn't exact. So I'll say this, the majority of fancy tools that you're seeing out there, whether they're recruiting or not, at the essence, it's just really good prompting. Okay. So I just don't want to see I've talked to some people that have franchises or that are trying to scale, and they're like, things are lean, but this is a, $100,000, a $200,000 or $300 per seat tool. And what I'm telling you is we can probably create it here inside of your ChatGPT. So you can use that money for advertising. You could use that money towards your people and all kinds of cool things. So I'm going to check one more time, just I guess kind of like as an advertisement. If you go to recruiterdna.com, that is my company, and it is a community. Of course, it's going to look different here, but if you go to courses, this is what it's going to look like. Let me see. Let me get out of it. Let me get an incognito window, so it'll look similar to what it will be if you look like. So I mean, here's the landing page. It's the AI Recruiter DNA Accelerator Program for teams. There's 2 packages, and basically what you're buying is my time. This is going to go up because I've only got 52 weeks in a year. I'm already getting booked up seems like after Easter is real popular. Eventually, this will be a course, right, that you can buy. But if you want to get your team enrolled, do it now. This is probably going to double here in the next 30 days because I didn't know the pricing. I wanted to be fair. I wanted to give value. Companies are taking it up. I know that, and it's a lot of work because it's not only me. There's going to be several of us showing up for this workshop to make sure your team gets what they need. There's going to be workbooks, and guess what? Some people, a lot of them are shy, and they're not going to ask questions in the workshop. So your team is going to have a kind of a secret little place here in my community, and you're going to get to ask student questions. You're going to get to ping me directly and say, I didn't know what you mean, right? And that's okay. So I'm going to make sure that everyone gets it, okay? That is my mission. So if you're ready, ping me. Let's get your team booked. At least save, book it now to get the price, and then we can enroll. As long as we enroll in the next 6 months, we're okay. But the price will go up, and yeah, I'm excited. If you're not gonna choose me, that's okay. There's other people out there that are training, but I truly believe that I have come up with a system that will take your team from some of us using it inconsistently, no best practices, I don't know, to not only are they going to know how to attack every problem, they're going to actually come out, you're going to leave with these little assistants, and so that, I think that's cool. There's nothing else like it in the market, and I'm just excited. Larry Hernandez with Recruiter DNA, make comments, and yeah, I hope to see you in the class. Thanks.